Hey there, and welcome to the Simple Finance channel. Today, I'm going to be discussing the Backdoor Roth IRA. This video will also include a tutorial on how to fill out Form 8606 that should be applicable to most people, as well as cover some examples on certain brokerages on how to complete this. The main reason people are going to be doing a Backdoor Roth IRA is that their income is too high. So you can see here, this is just a sheet from Schwab updating for the 2022 tax year. So if you are single and you make over $129,000, as you can see here, for every bit that you make over this, the amount you can contribute goes down. So for example, if you make under $129,000 single, you can contribute $6,000 if you're under 50 or $7,000 if you're 50 and older. So then if you are married filing jointly, this number is going to be $204,000. So we can see here, let's just go with the married filing jointly. If we go from $204,000 to $205,000, all of a sudden the amount we can contribute if we're under 50 is now only $5,400. So as you can see, this goes down and down and down until we get here to $144,000 as a single or $214,000 as married, and your limit goes all the way down to zero. So something you'll see commonly online is people saying that they're no longer able to do a Roth IRA. And actually under the current rules, this is not exactly accurate because we can do something called the Backdoor Roth IRA. So what a Backdoor Roth IRA is, in its most simple form, is we're going to be contributing $6,000 to a traditional IRA and then immediately converting that money over to a Roth account. So the way that this works is if you're already at this high of an income level, you do not qualify for a tax deduction on a traditional IRA. So it makes no sense to keep it in a traditional IRA because you're not getting that tax deduction. So you don't pay any taxes on doing this conversion, and then you're able to pull the money out tax-free, which is different than if it was a traditional IRA. So for pretty much anyone who is able to do this, this is going to be your best bet, and it will be much better than just doing a traditional IRA. Before we get started on this, one thing that you need to watch out for, and this is going to be the most common reason that you are not able to do a Backdoor Roth IRA, is something called the Pro-rata Rule. So what the Prorata Rule is that if you are going to be converting your traditional IRA to a Roth IRA, but you do not convert all of your pre-tax IRA money, then there's something called the Prorata Rule where you will have to pay taxes related to this. So in general, you only want to do this if you do not have a SEP IRA, a simple IRA, or an already large traditional IRA. So there are some strategies for getting around this. Probably the best strategy for most people is see if you can roll this money into your 401k through work. A lot of 401ks will allow transfers or rollovers of IRAs. So this is going to be your most likely best option if, for example, you have a SEP or a simple IRA and you are worried about violating the Pro-rata Rule. But if you do not have a SEP IRA, a simple IRA, or a traditional IRA because you have just been funding your Roth IRA and let's say your 401k at work, then you don't need to worry about this because you will be completely emptying out your pre-tax IRA money every single year doing this Backdoor Roth IRA conversion. To perform our Backdoor Roth IRA, it's really simple. So the first thing we're going to do, this is an example from M1 Finance. In the upper right-hand corner here, we have a list of all our accounts. So you can see I have a Roth IRA already. Because I'm over the income limit for contributing to a Roth IRA, I have to do the Backdoor Roth IRA. So this is how you do it. So we're going to go here and make an account, and you want to make a traditional IRA account. If you already have a traditional IRA account, you need to make sure that there's no money in this traditional IRA, or you need to convert the whole thing and pay taxes on your gains. For me, this was very simple because I did not have a traditional IRA before and had just contributed to my Roth IRA when I was below the income limits. So we will first go to our traditional IRA. So we would just click here. The next thing we're going to do is deposit our money. So let me show you how we do this. Here you can see I'm at my main page for my traditional IRA. We're just going to go to transfer, do a one-time cash transfer, and then here you're just going to select from your bank account to your traditional IRA, and you're going to want to do all $6,000 at once. I've already done this for the year, so it will not let me do that at this time. Our next thing we're going to do, on the bottom right hand corner on M1, you'll see this chat. You just click here and then you type in Backdoor Roth IRA, and this will come up letting you know that you need to submit a request. You're just going to click submit a request and say that you want to do a Backdoor Roth IRA conversion, and they will take care of the entire thing for you. If you want to do this process at other brokers, it's the exact same process. You're going to contribute your $6,000 to a traditional IRA, wait for this money to clear, and then do a Roth conversion. Here's an example of how to do this at E-Trade. In the upper right hand corner, you'll see the search bar, and you just want to search for Roth conversion. As you can see, I've already searched for this here, and then this top link is going to be the one you want to do. So we'll just follow along with this. On the next screen, we're going to use this. This is where it will bring us. So you're just going to want to check this box saying that you want to proceed. You're going to go from your contributory traditional IRA to your Roth IRA, and you want to do a full account conversion. On this last page, you want to leave the account open so that you can do backdoor Roth IRAs next year. Something that will happen is you can see we already did a backdoor Roth IRA here, and that $6,000, when it was sitting there waiting for the conversion to be done, it got 3 cents of interest. Sometimes people will worry about this. This is nothing you need to worry about. The IRS does not care about pennies. If you've ever noticed on your tax forms, everything is rounded to the nearest dollar. So next year, it will just convert $6,000.03, and that's nothing you need to worry about. When you fill out your tax forms, you'll just report $6,000. Also, you do not want to withhold federal income tax because you're not going to be paying tax on this conversion because you're already over the income limits for getting a deduction from your traditional IRA contributions. Same thing with state withholdings. After this, you're just going to do preview and confirm, and that's your entire process for doing this on E-Trade. So if you are like me and do not have any money in a traditional SEP or simple IRA like we had talked about earlier when we discussed the Prorata Rule, this is how you would fill out your Form 8606. Again, if you do not have the exact same situation as me, I would highly encourage you to talk to your accountant, because I am not an accountant and have an accountant do my taxes personally, but this is the general how you fill this form out if you're in a simple situation like me. So for line 1, which is our non-deductible contributions, that's going to be $6,000. Line 2 is $0. Line 3 is $6,000. Line 4 is $0. Line 5 is $6,000. Then we follow this down. Line 6, 0. Line 7, 0. Line 8, 6,000. Line 9, 6,000. For 10, this is just going to be 1.0. 11 is 6,000. 13 is 6,000. 14 is 0. 15, A, B, and C are all 0. 16 is 6,000. 17 is 6,000. 18 is 0. Our taxable amount is 0. And then the rest of this is blank. Again, if you have any questions about this, you should definitely contact your accountant. I hope that brief overview on the backdoor Roth IRA can help remove some of the fear that people have. I'd say the number one reason people don't do a backdoor Roth IRA is because they find the entire process very confusing. But really, it's just 3 simple steps. Deposit money to a traditional IRA, convert that money using a Roth conversion, and then come tax time, fill out Form 8606. It's really not very complicated unless you have money in a traditional or SEP or simple IRA before starting the process. And for most people, this is a great tool to allow you to keep putting money into your Roth IRA. If you watched my other video, the bucket system, you'll know that the Roth IRA is really one of the first places you should be putting money when you want to save for retirement. If you found this video helpful, I would really appreciate a like or subscribe. It would really help my channel to grow. And if you have any topics you would like for me to cover in the future, please just comment them down below. I'm really good about getting back to people. Also, I have an email address that you can send questions to, and there's a good chance that I'll put them on a future show. And that's down in the comments below. Again, thank you so much for watching, and let me know on any comments you'd like to see in the future. Thanks, bye. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. It makes a huge difference. Also, just the disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only and should not be considered personalized, legal, or financial advice. Until next time, thanks.